All right, what's going on, people? It's your boy Killer Fam 69. We back with another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be doing a review, but kind of a roundtable discussion review. It won't be your classic, quick 5-minute video how we felt about the game. We're actually going to do a little deep dive into the game. Well, you see the title here, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Me, Biarsino, and Sasu, we all played it separately. We all enjoyed it in our own aspects, but we'll get into that. But like I said, I'm here with Biarsino, Sasu. I'll pass it over to Biarsino, let him introduce himself.
I'm Baracino. I stream on Twitch and stuff, and I'm one of them dudes that think I'm smart, but I'm really stupid, and I failed all my college classes. That's my intro.
All right, great intro, I guess. And then we got my boy Sasu. Go ahead, Sasu, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
What's going on, Sasu? Just a friend of the Friends That podcast and Twitch and YouTube stream, and I'm just cool to be here.
All right, we're glad to have you. Thank you. All right, so like I said, we were all playing the Star Wars Fallen Order, or Jedi Fallen Order. This is one of the games, as y'all know, I got people out there that tease me and say I never beat games. For some reason, this one had me hooked. I had to keep playing it all the way through the end. How about we start off with first impressions? B, I'm going to let you go ahead and run it first.
It was I was pleasantly surprised. I've done no research into the game before it came out. I knew about it, like I didn't plan on getting it. I'm not really into Star Wars right now, but I was satisfied up until the ending. So pretty good game, minus the ending. So.
All right, Sassy, what about you?
When I first saw the reveal of it, I thought it was pretty cool. Was kind of worried about how the whole combat system would work and which way they would try to go with things. But I mean, I was pleased with the game as a whole, I should say.
Okay, all right. I know for me, I remember seeing the reveals and, kind of being excited for it because I really wanted Star Wars 1313 that they showed a couple years ago that got canceled, and I figured this was the next best thing. Now, when I first seen it, I kind of expected it to play like Force Unleashed, but just better graphics, and boy, was I wrong. As time went on, I did see some videos and noticed that there was like a stamina bar and stuff like that, which actually really wasn't a stamina. It was more of a block gauge or like something like that to kind of
block like stamina, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like your posture, almost like Sekiro type thing. But it had more of a Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro type feel to it as the combat went, which I liked it because in this game, all right, well, I don't want to go too far, but so basically, yeah, I like the game a lot. Everything down to the sound design, the lighting, the characters, the story, the time frame that it takes place. A part of the game even lets you take part of something that happens in the past that we'll get into a little later. I want to start off with any spoilers. We'll let you know when the spoilers are coming. Something that was fleshed out that you never really got a part to see. You always heard about these things, but besides, like, some of the cartoons or like short scenes from movies, you never actually get to experience firsthand. So that's what I like that they took this game to that point. But yeah, let's talk about the story. B, you want to talk about the story first, or you want me to go ahead and do it?
All right, so
you the lore guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you're into the old expanded universe, which is now called Legends, this would have taken place around. Wait, where are we at? We're like 3 years after Order 66.
Yeah,
so,
4 years. Yeah.
Or is it 5 years? 3 or 4 years after that. So, the book reference would be Dark Lords of the Sith, and this is kind of when Anakin first takes on the suit, and he's struggling with the suit, and he's hunting Jedi and all that stuff. But that's no longer canon completely. So this kind of bleeds into Rebels with the Inquisitors. So we do have some Inquisitors in this game. And the Inquisitors they're not full on Sith. They are dark side users who are trained just to hunt Jedi. So they do utilize the Force and the dark side. Most of them are former Jedi's, right?
Right, yeah,
From
like tortured and like
from the
lying,
game.
like they're flipped.
Right. So here we're after Order 66, and they're flushing out Jedi, and our main character is Cal. I don't remember his last name, but
Kestis.
Kestis.
Cal Kestis, and he's just hiding amongst regular people, and I forget how they
he's on a Scrapper planet, right?
right. But I forget how they know he's there, like how they know to go there to look for him, because he, like, a lot of them, they cut themselves off from the Force, which is it's just what Yoda did when he went to Dagobah. He cut himself off. He went to a dark side planet to cut himself off from the Force. So
that we
it's kind of what's going on there.
So did they get some type of? Do they have some way to feel? Because he used the Force in the story, spoilers, to save his friend. He uses his little time slow. Which is that a thing? Is that a Force? Is that what Kylo does when he stopped the blaster in Force Awakens?
Yeah, I guess so.
Pretty much.
Is that because I've never seen that before until this game, and then I figure maybe that's what that was supposed to be.
Spider-Man kind of does that too with the web, like slow you down.
Slow down,
I guess.
Yeah. So he used a Force slowdown thing, which I feel like is unique to this character and this story because I've never seen that Force power ever. Correct me if I'm wrong if you guys seen something like that before.
Other than the Kylo Ren and
see, I thought Kylo Ren, when he did that, I never thought of it as a slowdown. I thought he was just so strong he was able to just hold it in his place using the Force grab. You know what I mean?
Could this be like a modified Force push, or because when Vader does the choke, right? He kind of just freezes them in place, and could it be something like that, or
it could be? Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying it could just be like a Force push, but not a push. Just like stare at him, my boy, chill.
But yeah, so he's on the Scrapper planet. There's a storm coming in, and they have to fix something by hand, and they have to go climb up in this dangerous area. And something happens. They fall, and he saves his friend from hitting the ground completely. He slows him down. Once that happens, the stormtroopers and the Inquisitors come to the planet and start lining people up. And he begs his friend, don't tell anybody. This is a secret. I can't let this get out. And it kind of set up to where it looks like he's about to snitch on you, but he actually ends up giving his life for you. And that's the part where you first, you give yourself out. You kind of, he's still young, so I feel like he still has, he teeters on the dark side as far as letting his anger get to him and stuff like that.
Does he? He tap?
He could have. That there's a little thing that happened at the end.
Himself off. He cut himself off, and then when you move up in the skill tree, it's not the skill tree, the
story.
Is it Force abilities?
Yeah.
No, when you move up in Force ability, he starts to remember his Jedi training.
Yeah, that's how you get new things.
I say that. I forgot.
Yeah, and they use that to kind of give it almost like a Metroidvania feel to it, where you get a new ability, you're able to get to a new area that'll expand the planets. There's only about 4 or 5 planets that you can explore.
5.
Yeah, 5.
There are
6 if you count
1, 2, 3, 4.
The destroyer.
Right.
Yeah, well, the final planet is just for the final boss fight, and that's it. They cut you off after that.
Yeah, story. But
you were talking about the combat earlier. That's one thing that I was surprised by, because a low level enemy could 2 hit you and kill you. It's
right, and that's what I was saying.
You go into
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like the last Star Wars game I played. Well, I played Battlefront 2, but we'll talk about that later. But Force Unleashed, right? The last game was Battlefront does have lightsabers, but Force Unleashed is just a hack and slash, right? You can just go in there mashing and get Eddie Gordo that shit, and you're good. Right. Can't do that here. You cannot do that here. You have to slow it down. You have to sit there and watch what an enemy does, and I'm not used to that. But it was fun learning that mechanic, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sassy, how'd you feel about the combat?
Not a combat system. Actually, was on point. I mean, fluid movement. Like you could pretty much tell that it was a human with the lights around them around a green screen doing a bunch of these things
Mm.
because it wasn't choppy. I mean, the only negative I really had about the whole combat system was just camera angles when you get in
Oh
certain
yeah,
areas.
yeah.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
That's the
certain
hardest
areas,
boss. Camera angles.
it kind of forces you to stay within range whenever you're doing combat, but not be too far off. And
Right, right,
you can't cheese anything. Pretty much, you can't spam a dodge or just sit there and think you're gonna block the whole entire time, and that's gonna work. And you can't just go in there thinking you're gonna get 4 swings or 4 hits. It doesn't go that way.
right. Yeah,
You
don't go
So
that
that
gotta
quick
was
to
pace
good.
block.
yourself. You gotta
Yeah,
develop a strategy and stuff. You gotta learn the enemies. You're not gonna like. I was killed by every enemy in the game, honestly,
yeah.
and
Well, to
the
me,
crabs still give me that work.
and the thing is, you would assume the larger enemies were the most difficult. I don't think so. I think the most difficult enemies were on I don't know the name of that planet.
Was it Dathomir
Yeah, those are
with
probably
them
the more
damn spiders with
difficult
the acid
ones.
and shit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
that
and
was. Yeah.
the ones that look like Darth Maul because they
Yeah,
pretty much would catch you unsuspectedly, and they also knew how to dodge or parry or whatever. So it was just like that.
yeah.
Now, Cecil, I don't know if you caught this on your I think this is after the tree when you're going back out and you're going back to the ship and there's this black stormtrooper. It's just you come. There's many black stormtroopers. Some of them got batons. Some of them got like two batons. One of them has a what you call this shit, a staff,
It
right?
looked like one had like an
There's
axe
this
or something.
one. There's this one that has a rifle, right?
Oh yeah.
And only when you're going back. Only when you're going back, bro. This mother is yeah, you like that, huh? This mother he's so overpowered. He's quick, he's flipping, he's basically Dark Link and Zelda 2, mirroring everything you do. And like I was laughing at Fam when Fam got to him. He beat out of Fam, that shit was funny. I didn't just now. But no, it like y'all think that was just put in there to be trolling? I mean, Fam, you think it was just trolling? Because like no other enemy was that hard. He just
He.
him.
It's funny because he was squishy. Like if you can actually hit him, he would die easily. But that man was so fast and dodging everything and shooting, you couldn't get close to him. I tried to force pull him. He shot me with a shotgun. Like,
Yeah, well, that's what you were telling me that you
yeah,
could force pull the black troopers, and I tried to force pull him, and he just aimed down sight and shot me in the face. I'm like, look,
yeah.
he
No,
got
I
me.
force pulled the one of the dual baton troopers, and it was tight because he was like trying to fight against it, like literally like drag, like I had to drag him, like he was like pulling himself back,
Hmm.
and it was like once I got him, I like, just ran him through with the lightsaber. That part that had me clapping, like just like stuff like that, like some of the things. Some of the aspects of the way they animate the combat and stuff was really good. I only thing I'd wish, and I know they don't do it because they don't do it in the movies, and they don't do it. It's Disney now. They don't dismember stormtroopers. But I feel like you should be able to. Like you can cut in half insects and animals and robots and stuff, but it's not as satisfying as wanting to do it to like a stormtrooper, especially with some of those like finishers. I do wish they had more combo finishers though. Like some of those animations got repetitive. I wish they had some. I wish they had some more finishers in there.
I'm sure there's more. We're just not. We're probably just not doing it because there's a with the double blade.
Mhm.
If you can spam X, but you have to do it in like 3-second increments,
Yeah.
and that does a finishing move too.
Okay.
So
So I don't think I ever got that
and
one.
that does an unlimited heart attack.
Yeah. Well,
So
another thing. Oh
you
my
gotta
bad.
look in
Go
the
ahead.
skill tree. It tells you that. Yo, go ahead. My
No,
bad.
what I was gonna say is, for some enemies, it wasn't. I felt that they should have made it to where there was at least 3 types of ways you could have finished an enemy. Like instead of just for the large or ogre looking monsters, you cut off one arm and you stab them, which all that stuff is cool, but you pretty much kill all those or finish all those the same way. So because it at that point, I was just happy it didn't turn into a quick time event. You know
That's
what I'm
I was
saying?
gonna jump on that. I was gonna say
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just happy it
I'll
didn't
take
turn into.
that. I'll take that for not having quick time events.
Yeah, that's understood.
Because I mean, when you're asking for different finishes on the heavies like that, you're asking for quick time.
Well, I
So
just meant, because it's just you pretty much only cut off his left arm, is what I'm saying. Like
mhm.
every time you do it, you cut off just
Yeah,
his left arm, and then you
yeah,
swing at his right arm, but nothing happens. And then you turn
yeah,
around, and then you stab him with your back turned. So I mean, all that is cool, but just my
yeah.
opinion.
Well, it's just like the one with the claws too, where is he always takes that final swing with his right hand,
Yeah.
like every time.
So, but I mean, that's just being nitpicky, but it's just small things that could have made it just which I overall I give it probably the best Star Wars Jedi game I ever played. You know, just
Yeah,
in terms of the Jedi wasn't really held back. I mean, compared to Force Unleashed, which one of y'all mentioned earlier was just pretty much a button mashing festival. I mean, it was
that,
cool, but this took it kind of to a whole nother level.
one of my favorite Jedi games was Jedi Knight 2. Was it 2 or 3? Was it the Academy one where you can like make your own lightsaber and like you're
Hmm.
helping Luke trying to rebuild the Jedi Academy? That was fun, but
Oh.
you literally had no control over like what moves you're really doing. You're just kind of like swinging away because like use the analog stick. But if you play it on PC, you're just moving the mouse around. At least this one
Hmm.
felt like
Uh,
it was tight. You know what I mean? It felt like you were actually doing what you wanted to do. Especially if you figured out how to switch up some of the combos. Like when you unlock the combo where you pop out the dual blade and you like do the little spin.
Hmm.
I would like do like a 1-2 hit, hold the second one, throw out the blade, and then I would like do another one, and then maybe even like use the strong attack twice, and throw the double blade around you when you unlock that skill. It's just so much cool things you did with the combat, and I really appreciated it. I hope they do make a sequel, and that he gets. I hate when sequels like take away your powers. You know what I mean? And make you weak again, just to make you build. Like God of War does that all the time. They're like famous for that. Um, but I think the reason why he was so weak, as far not like weak, but how he wasn't just like mowing through stormtrooper because he was still a Padawan. He hasn't become a Jedi in this game. You know what I mean?
well,
Until
yeah, but that and he cut himself off from the force and forgot a lot of his training. So
yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
which explains why he was very weak at the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another game that's like that was God of War was just like that, and Spider Man was just like that as well. Like you're very weak at the beginning as you
Yeah, and they
progress.
want
Like
you. And they want you
you know,
to have some type of replay value. They want you to play the game.
right?
All right, so enough about combat. Well, I guess progression. We didn't really talk about how you actually level up. So you get experience points from killing things. You have a droid with you named BD. He'll scan items. That kind of gives you the background story of the game and some of the lore. Um, and you also have like Force Essence. Those give you experience points. When you level up, you get skill points. And you have, I don't know if you guys ever played Final Fantasy X, but it has that type of skill tree where it branches out. Each skill will unlock a different route to go. Like the
Mhm.
middle was like your attack. Your left side of the skill set is your force, and then the right is your survival, like your health skills and
Right,
blocking
that's
and
what it
stuff
was.
like
Yeah.
that. So I like how they did that. I actually beat the game without maxing out the tree because it is possible to beat the game without being completely maxed out. Now you can farm some enemies. You can because it has a Dark Souls mechanic to where it has a bonfire mechanic. You have a meditation spot that you go to, and when you meditate, it'll respawn all the enemies as well as like heal you and give you your stems, which is your Estus flask. Um, so you can like if you know an area with a lot of enemies and you're okay with like running through it, you can run through that area, meditate, and just run back through unless you know a way to do it a lot faster, like a cheese way, Somebody
Yeah,
figure
like-
something out.
Yeah, I always, every game I play, I always find the cheese spot. Like, I found a good one too. One enemy, you just kill one enemy and start all over again. It's really fast. Get a skill point in 5 minutes.
I did that with Sekiro. There was like a big boss that you could stealth kill and then run back in and respawn real quick. But
Yo, let's talk about level design. And me specifically, I want to talk about the tomb level. Because
like
I'm a
puzzles.
puzzle guy. Like, I love puzzles.
right.
What y'all think of what do y'all think of solving that puzzle? Like, well, it was 2 of them, but like, let's just talk about the first one. With the big balls. Like, was that one kind of hard for y'all, or like, cause like whenever I go into one of these, like, if a set piece like this, I'm looking for, and I mean, I'm not gonna. There's something I want to say. I'm just not gonna say it now, but I'm always looking for the angle, like, immediately. So I mean, but like, just going through that, what y'all think about that?
Well, I instantly got like a Tomb Raider vibe for it, like the new Tomb Raider. It was, some of the stuff was like not self-explanatory, but it pops instantly. And even one of the puzzles kind of give you a Breath of the Wild shrine feel. It's like a ball puzzle.
Yeah.
So once you seen that ball, you kind of knew immediately what to do, and it was that was the segue in the game to give you the force push. That was, I think, what was that, like the first force ability you get, right? It was a push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was it force? Yeah, it was force push. Yeah.
I mean, besides the wall run, I think the wall run was first, and then, but I don't count that as a. Yeah, the cat's in the ceiling. But anyways,
Cats in the ceiling.
yeah, you about to jump down and watch. So yeah, level design. The puzzles I think were really good. They weren't too hard. If you couldn't figure it out, they did give you opportunity to like get a hint from your droid.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did. He did give help.
Don't you jump down.
One of the homies was saying that early on. I guess I'm kind of jumping around, but like, he was wanting to force jump real early, and I don't feel like you really needed the force jump only for that tree part. That's the only time you really needed it, and to like get some chests that some unreachable chests, but you didn't really need force jump at all in the game. But
Well, I think they.
Yeah, you
I
about to
think they
die,
did
you
a-
dumbass. Sorry, I gotta edit that.
oh my god.
I think they did.
We'll just cut that out. Hold on a second. So hold that thought. We're gonna just cut this out real quick.
Put a pin in that
So
part.
this nigga, I can't put a pin in it. How am I gonna put a pin in it?
The cat jumping
look.
out the ceiling.
There you go. You need to
He
hear
almost
that.
killed himself. He almost landed on a CD spindle.
He ain't gonna kill himself. He ain't gonna kill himself. He gonna land on his feet.
Killed himself. Yeah.
Trust me. I've tried to kill a.
All right. Anyways, all right.
Anyway,
back to the review.
I tried to kill a roach one time and it landed on his feet and stuff, and it just took off running. Yeah. All right. Fix that real quick. Anyway, where were we starting?
Talking about level design,
Right.
and I was saying, now they did an awesome job with the level design. I mean, almost every level had like 3 tiers in it, pretty much, and they also incorporate little keys to let you know, how many chests you had, how many you could on each level.
What's something that stood out to you? What's a level that stood out to you?
And in my opinion, the best of my opinion had to be but it was the second one, the one that had the elevators in it, where you pretty much would go up and down on those. And because if I'm not mistaken, it was the first one that had pretty much the slopes in it where you would slide down and
Was that
you had to
Zepho?
jump on those.
Was it the ice planet?
No, not the ice planet. I don't
it's
think
the
it was
mining
the ice
planet. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
It's the one.
that has the elevators and the little
And you have to
tram.
take a train. Yeah, transit to the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
okay, that is the explain it. Well, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That one right there. Like I said, I thought they did a damn good job with it. Cause again, like the previous Star Wars Force Unleashed, everything was flat. So you just
yeah,
went
very
about it. It was
linear
it was real linear.
on
So
a rail.
yeah, so like I said, they did a real good job. Only headache that I pretty much encountered was just pretty much when you were sliding down certain areas and you had to jump on a rope. If you weren't pinpoint on that rope, lined up with it, you were gonna miss it. So that's the
Until you
only
get
thing I had an
forceful.
issue with.
Or if you didn't take a turn soon enough, you was sliding
Yeah,
completely off.
yeah,
That kind of bothered me though, bro. Like,
those little
I don't know,
things,
dude.
but
But
again, some of that, in my opinion, had to do with camera angles because you're coming down at a certain rate, and then it'll change, which that's cool and all, but it's like it it kind of takes some getting used to, or you have to hit a lucky streak at some point.
yeah. Well, for me, my favorite was I actually have two favorites, but the second tomb with the big hint painted on the wall on how to beat it. I caught that immediately. Like,
That's the one I was struggling on like crazy.
so yeah, so if you're trying to if you get stuck on a puzzle in this game, just look at the environment. They pretty much tell you how to do it. Some Zelda stuff right there. But
As far as go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I say y'all
no,
right. I'm disagreeing.
anything else on level design?
For me with the level
What
design,
was
I
it?
like how the story is told through the levels. Like as far as like
Mm,
some of the action sets, like for example, in the
the
first
last one.
stage, not even that, like the first stage with the train, and it's like raining and
Mm.
it like
Right,
collapses and you're like hanging from it and stuff's blowing up around you.
right.
That's
I
pretty
forgot
cool.
about
The one with you're swimming in the water and the walker is in the water and then the TIE fighter like crashes into it and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. That was really good. When I recorded that, uh, that was really good, and I liked the final scene as you're running. I'm not gonna spoil it, but that was really cool. Like the stuff that was happening around you. But yeah, we can move on to. I want
Let's
to
do
talk about.
bosses, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's talk about the boss
Bosses.
fights. At least, realistic. I think there's only like maybe 3 or 4 real bosses, and then like some of the other ones are just like level bosses that are like the same enemies but a lot stronger, more damage,
Yeah.
actual health bar.
Now let's do like main bosses. Like
Yeah, like that big ass bat.
hey, that okay, the bat or the owl? The owl. The big owl bat or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
an alpha.
That
Yeah,
was by far for me in a game the most epic boss fight I've ever experienced. And what's cool about it is um there's a really big set piece in the second form
hmm
and it's not quick time. That's what I liked about it. Like
Oh yeah,
I
you
mean
get fucked up too.
it's a change in gameplay. Like it's a complete change in gameplay, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a quick time. Like you have to do what it's asking you to do or you're gonna die. And I was laughing at Fan because he kept falling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta you're like falling off the sky and you gotta land on them. It's pretty cool. They did a lot of work. A lot of love went into this game. We got to give a shout out to Respawn because it's their second home run to me as far as like single player story goes. The first one being Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2? Yeah,
Yeah,
boy.
the single player campaign on that game was like it was the most underrated, underlooked game of what was that 2017.
Well,
That
that's
shit
because
was
EA
fire.
EA sabotaged it, putting it out with Call of Duty and
Or
it
Battlefield,
was
right?
another game. Yeah, so yeah, it was smothered by them other two games, but
Yeah, it deserved its own slot, like its own month by itself. And that game could have waited. It didn't have to come out in the fall. They're just pushing out for Christmas. They didn't have to do that. But
Shout
yeah.
out to EA for not doing the fuck boy loot boxes, man. Like they literally could have charged for all that cosmetic stuff, and they didn't.
Oh yeah, all the
They
lightsaber pieces and
didn't. Like
everything.
all that stuff, man. That stuff they can make money on, and they just didn't do it. But you know why they didn't? They're not doing it because of all of the flack they got for Battlefront 2. So, but and then it's like Disney's like, you know, y'all not gonna be doing that shit. Like Disney don't want that bad reputation. That's why they made them undo the loot boxes for Battlefront 2. Disney was like, nah, we don't want this bad press, partner. Y'all undo that. So this game, there's none of that shit, bro. And that's what I liked about it. And the story was good until the ending. But sorry, I veered off.
The only thing I wasn't pleased with in terms of the character customization, I didn't like the fact that he pretty much had one regular like outfit or costume, whatever, and everything else was just a different color poncho. I'm like, what the hell is that? But hey, that's just me.
No, he had. I got four different regular clothes sets.
Yeah, but they're all ponchos. They could have had one where.
You could get a different flight suit or whatever his main suit is. Like, but it's different colors. They're not really like actual costumes.
Yeah, that was the only like little thing for me. Is like they could have had like a Jedi skin, you know, like one of the Jedi Knight skins or something that you were able to play with after completing the game or something.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like post game content.
Yeah, right, just in general, because I mean,
I think the Inquisitor costume should have been one that you can wear.
Yeah, something like that. Just different ones where you can just get the feel of it. Because I mean, at some point, spoiler, he becomes a Jedi or gets knighted.
I mean, he is a Jedi. He gets knighted.
Well, that's from what's the name? Anymore. Yeah, he's not a Padawan anymore. So the only other issue I pretty much had just with the story itself is just it's kind of blurry at the beginning because you don't really know why things are happening or who's imposing this thing. It's like, all right, we know what's happening, but who's behind it?
Yeah.
So you pretty much left in the dark.
So before we get into spoiler talk, let's go ahead and give the people who don't want to hear any spoilers. Let's give them our final verdict. And is it a buy, a try, or a rent type of thing, or like a pass? I'm gonna go ahead start it off. I would give it a 8 out of 10. Most definitely a buy for me. Because I'm pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised because I honestly wasn't going to buy the game. Like, I literally just got it because I got paid from Twitch finally for my affiliate program, and I had the extra money, and it came out that same day. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get it, and I'll just play the new game. I honestly didn't expect to like it. I thought it was going to be trash, and it was great. But most of it, 8 out of 10. Pick it up if you can. Surprisingly, I seen it in the red box. I don't know if you guys have red boxes in your town. It might have been a mistake where I'm at, but they sell games too. Like those end up selling them after they're old for a while. They actually had the game in the red box for $40 before Black Friday. So if you guys check y'all red boxes, you might be able to pick the game up $20 off. I may not have the case with it, but the game's worth it. Most definitely get it. But yeah, I say 8 out of 10. I'm actually, once we're done with this review, I'm actually going to get back in the game and try to 100% to plan it. So that's how much I enjoy like playing it. So, but yeah, go ahead.
I just can't put a number on it. I'd say it's worth a buy, worth a playthrough. Negatives for me is that there's no Sith I would like to play as a Sith, and I didn't really like the ending. But gameplay wise, story, everything was cool except for the ending for me. So yeah, it's worth a playthrough. I recommend buying it. If I put a number on it, 7.5 maybe, 7.5. Out of 10, I guess. I mean, that's still good.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah,
I mean, that's a pass. You passed the test. I mean,
it's better.
It's just because of my what can I say? Like how much I'm invested in the Sith side of things that plays a part in my score. You know, it probably has nothing to do with the actual game, just because I want to see more Sith in it. That's all. But that's me.
Got you.
Go buy that shit.
I give it an 8 out of 10. Again, like I said, combat system was on point. It wasn't button mashing. As far as just the design of the levels and the planets was awesome. You have pretty much different enemies, uh, some surprises. So that was a plus for me. Again, similar to what Fam said, I was skeptical at first, thinking that this would have been a title that somebody would have tried to go overboard with in terms of difficulty, but it wasn't that. So as far as the end, I was pleased with it. Me and BR, we kind of saw it a little slightly. We saw it similar, but slightly different in some areas. Although I understood where he came from, and he understood where I came from in terms of the spoiler, I guess, the
Right.
whole encounter with
Wait, no,
Vader.
not yet, not
So
yet, not
so
yet.
so
Oh,
no, you good. So
We gotta get the
what would
warning.
you get it? What would you rate it? How?
oh
What's
no, I
your
agree with
personal
you.
rating for it?
8. Yeah, I said 8 out of 10. I give
Eight
it
out
an
of
8.
10.
Yeah,
All right,
hell
cool,
yeah.
cool. So yeah, if I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds. We're about to go into spoiler territory. Um, if you want to stay, stay. If you're leaving, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, go beat the game, and come back and listen to this part and see what Let us
I'm
know
gonna
what you
sing
feel
for you.
about it in the comments. Didn't like that. And let me just go ahead and say, you've probably seen it on YouTube by now. They've been putting videos out there, a lot of reaction videos from Twitch streamers and stuff. Vader's in the game. I kind of expected him to make an appearance, but I didn't expect him to do what he did in this appearance. Me personally, I thought that shit was amazing. Excuse my language. Um, I thought that was like one of the coolest scenes. Um, them, you can't beat Vader. You have to run, and that's what they had to do. Now, B seen it a different way, and he was kind of upset. But me personally, I thought that was one of the highlights of the game. They was showcasing Vader's one arm technique, him like beating you down with the lightsaber, like just oh man. But yeah,
Well,
and then
one thing I
like
like
just
about it was that they would. Okay, so you don't actually fight him because then you would have to beat him,
right.
and that's no. Like Force Unleashed. Okay, yeah.
Force
Star
Unleashed
Killer
screwed
was
that.
stronger than he was, huh?
So what? He was stronger then. He shouldn't have been beating his ass like that.
No, Star Killer was stronger than Darth Vader. Yes. Yeah, he beat both of them up. Yeah, him and Darth Sidious. Yeah, because I mean, when he was a kid, you remember in the beginning of the first one when he took his lightsaber from him,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
force
yeah,
pulled his lightsaber, the little baby. Like,
yeah.
you that's something that he should have seen coming, unless the person was stronger than him, right? So, but yeah, I feel like they were able to beat him, and that's how they escaped. Like, I,
So you think they shouldn't have been able to hold him off?
I don't feel that someone who cut themselves off from the force for years, even though she tapped into the dark side, I still don't feel she should have been able to best him. And I felt that, and now it's debatable from the conversation me and Sasu had earlier, but like I still don't think that he he could be bested that easy.
Right.
You know, he shouldn't be like think of the inner Rogue One.
Yeah,
You know, you
right,
don't
right.
best
Well,
that.
those are some lowly. Those weren't Jedi's.
Now, Ahsoka beat the shit out of him, and if y'all haven't seen it, you should have seen it by now. It's like 3 fucking years
Rebels.
old, right?
Yeah.
And Rebels, Ahsoka beat the shit out of him, but Ahsoka was his Padawan. Like
He taught her.
she was trained to be him. So right. So that's a little more feasible. And I don't care that she's a female. Ahsoka is fucking badass. Like, even though there's the little female stuff sprinkled in the game, whatever, the ending too. I'm willing to let that go though. But still, like, man, I just nah man, not I just don't see again, someone who's been cut off from the force for what, 5 years? Let's just estimate 5 years, and just picks up a lightsaber today and can best Darth Vader. I'm sorry.
So,
Any,
what was your aspect on it, on the Vader part?
Oh, no, the ending was real good. As I was explaining to B, the encounter with Darth Vader, in my opinion, he wasn't even trying. Like, in my opinion, he wasn't even trying. It was more of it was like more of him being cocky and just seeing what the senior Jedi lady was capable of, in effect, because at points when he did even impose his will, it was just too much for him. So he was like, he even mentioned to the one lady, like, you would have made a great inquisitor.
Right,
Like,
right,
the
right.
dude, like, he was trolling, quote unquote.
So basically, he was just seeing her potential to see if he ends up capturing her, he's
Yeah,
gonna make her an
like
inquisitor.
it was pretty
go
much
back, go back into the story. She was
nothing for him.
actually being tortured into being an inquisitor,
And she
Yeah,
used,
and
right,
then
so
used the
tapped
force to
into
so
the
escape.
that's
dark side and killed
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
except
I mean,
for her
anybody who
Padawan.
follows the whole Star Wars thing, they pretty much know, like, it was nothing. Like, I feel this way. If Vader didn't have a mask on, you would probably see them smirking under there, like, oh, okay, y'all really trying, like, y'all really trying. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
See, and
look
that's
at it.
why I say it's debatable, because it's like when he brought that point to my attention, it was like he did kind of say, like, he's like, oh, so you tapping into the dark side? Okay,
Yeah,
let me see what you can do. So
yeah,
that I could kind of see that,
yeah.
you know.
And again, I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just a difference of opinion. There's no right or
Yeah.
wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess following that, the only issue well, not issue. No, my only concern was what now?
All right, they
After
left it. Yeah, they leave it.
them destroying the cube, it's like, okay, what now? Y'all
so
all together. So what you gonna do now?
I feel like they're gonna make a sequel. They have you got your this was like the origin story of this group, this ship, the Mantis crew, and I feel like they'll make a sequel based off of them. You'll start off with the witch being with you and Sarah, what's her name? Siri, I don't know.
Seer. Yeah, Seer.
And I think that's going to be like this is just the origin story of more adventures to come. I think with them using aspects of Rebels, I would like them to see the way to incorporate Ezra into the game and stuff like that. Like, to start pulling stuff from the different canon. I would love to see that. Even I expect you to die. I expected them to get wiped at the end for real, because there's no more Jedi's. You know what I mean? Unless he's in hiding still. Unless they're going to try to make it do something like that.
I just got one thing I want to ask everybody. And, like, who was your favorite, like, non-main character in the whole game?
Oh,
Non-main.
Malicos. Malicos, man.
The ship captain was pretty funny.
For some reason,
Oh, he was definitely a comic relief.
Yeah.
for some reason, I just can't get past the whole Forrest Whitaker guy. It's
Oh, Saw
like,
Gerrera.
yeah, they even
Hey,
had
y'all know,
his
like,
eye the same. It was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
hold on, you guys
yeah.
got the eye and
I hate
everything.
Forrest Whitaker's eye. Yeah. Man,
Yeah,
like,
it's
people were
like,
like, when they played the first trailer, what was that at E3? E3. Oh my god, all three of y'all.
E3.
E3, and people were saying, man, is that supposed to be Forrest Whitaker? Man, they messed up on the graphics and stuff, but it's a
yeah,
younger version of him. Like,
Yeah,
so
it's a couple years before.
Rogue One, he was damn near about to die and could barely walk and on a breathing machine. And then in the Clone Wars cartoon, he was young, slim, and fit. So here he's a little fat right now. He's been eating, right? But yeah, like, that was a huge, like I got hyped when he jumped on that walker.
Yeah.
Like, just to see someone else from the Star Wars canon. Someone that I like from the Star Wars canon, let me say that. So that was the first moment I got hyped on. I was like, oh shit, looks so
I
good.
like that we're bringing up these points because I have all these scenes captured. So I'm most definitely gonna, when I make this video for you guys to see, I'll put all this in there for you guys. And you can see what we're talking about, and especially the spoiler scene. I'm gonna put the Vader scene in there, so that way you can see what Sasu and B were talking about as
Well,
far as like Vader's combat.
let's go back. So let's say something else about that, like set piece wise, like as you're leaving, like they actually show you how strong he is, and they do it in Rogue One as well, but here it's done really well too. As you're that retractable bridge, and he's just breaking it down, and he's
Right.
like he's like way
redirecting it.
across. And then when you get to the other side, he pulls the Jason Voorhees on you, like you're looking at a panel and then you turn and he's standing right there. It's like, oh shit, how did you get here?
Right.
Like he did a shift on you while you were running,
Right.
or he morphed. Like
He most definitely
number
did some
two.
Jason shit. But I like how any other time you play the game, you can't put your lightsaber through a blast door, but that dude put his saber right through the door. I like that part.
Exactly.
I like that. I don't know if you guys did this. I did on accident. My gameplay. I turned around to see if he was still standing there, and if you make eye contact with him, he kills you instantly. He like force grabs you and chokes you out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I can't redo it.
Yeah.
I can't redo it. Damn. Well, I gotta play another game.
I know that is because I watched the video and I stumbled upon it on accident before I got to the end, because I was having trouble with like the whole jumping thing when you go back to the training, and they don't tell you that you have to climb, you have to attach to the wall, and then you have to jump back off of it to get. Yeah.
So more spoiler talk. Actually, I think I don't know what I said. The highlight, but the highlight for me was actually being able to play Order 66. That shit was hard to me. Like, it was so fucked up because you knew it was coming. Because you're like walking through and high five.
Oh yeah.
You're a young
when he goes back as a kid. Yeah, right. And then like them. Oh yeah, that was tight.
The clone troopers are your friends. Like they're really like high fiving you. Hey, you gonna go do your training today, buddy? And they're like, dog, that's crazy. Like, and what was his master's name?
Oh, I can't recall.
It'll come. I'll post it.
Let's just call him R. Kelly.
But he was that. His race was the new race that was introduced in Rebels, like the monkey-looking people.
Yeah, it was Zeb in Rebels.
Yeah. So and like, you see the hologram message come up: execute Order 66, and like he felt it, and he was a beast with that dual blade lightsaber. Like they just taking them clone troopers out like it was nothing. But that whole part was tight, man. Like just for them to show like that they were programmed that way to just kill you, betray you, because they were cool as hell with you. Like they were your buddies. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how did y'all feel about Cal Kestis, his dream that he could have possibly become part of the dark side?
That was great too. And
did he have a dark side dream?
Yeah. I look in the chat. I just posted the pictures, the screenshots.
I don't remember that.
That's when they pulled the it was the Force. They did the Last Jedi move when he looked at the little reflection, the mirror.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the
yeah. And you walk in, and he had right. And
he had the Inquisitor outfit on. That part was cool. Yeah, and then it was showing like if you find the holocron with the Force children, they're all gonna be hunted. Like you're putting them in danger, and that's why he destroyed it at the end, because of that vision he had.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I said, I think they did a great job with the story and the cinematics in between and everything else. I mean, just little minor things that would stop me from giving it a 9 or a 10, but it's a strong 8 must buy for me. I would tell anybody.
What y'all think of the Kyber crystal trial? Because he didn't have his own lightsaber; he was using his master's lightsaber, so he didn't go through the trial. I think he said he was there when people were doing it.
Well, he got his own had a flashback. Remember, he dropped it in the Order 66.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh man, good save.
Yeah, how would y'all feel it? And another reason why I didn't give it a 10 or a 9. I would have liked the option, even when you finish the game, to be able to go back to the arena when you get caught by the bounty hunter, where you just have like a horde.
Right.
Yeah,
It should be like
mode.
a wave, a survival mode or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, and
It probably
honestly,
could.
I'm surprised you didn't go there every time you lost to them out when they still
Ex-
hunting you.
Uh,
That should have been an aspect of the
I,
game to get pulled there, unless they
yeah,
thought it would be
that could have
like,
been something that they just left out of the game. They didn't have time to put in there and polish because like it feels like because like okay they beat you and then you just go back and grab your essence and then you got it back because like they say like oh man a bounty well collected and then you respawn and then you can go back and get your stuff. Like I feel like something else was supposed to happen there. Might be some DLC.
well, at least it wasn't pay to play, loot box heavy.
Right.
all right.
You
I'm actually
good.
looking up
They
right now to
did.
see.
They did incorporate the new kyber crystal cannon in there, whereas they bleed their emotions into the crystal, and that's what determines the color. Whereas before, to get a red one, you had to have a synthetic crystal, man-made crystal, or like a cracked crystal. So
Yeah, that was cool. That's,
that was cool where the crystal kind of calls out to you, like your crystal will call to you, and him building his lightsaber that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like that's
How did
something
he
that's
still
one of those
make it
things
work
that
with
fam was
after it
talking
broke in
about.
his hand?
What you mean?
Because it broke, and he was all like, oh, "No." And then
Well,
he
she
still-
gave him hers, right? Seer gave him hers, and then he took it like
fragment.
what am I trying to say? He built the new lightsaber as a combination of his old one and hers that was working. You don't get to see all of that because he did it real fast, but that's what it was. He had one that was working and one that wasn't. And that was cool having to go through Dathomir, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Without a lightsaber. That was tight. Like
Yeah,
having to
get
get
him
through that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a creative way to replay like existing levels. Like I think they did a good job with that. Like you know you got to go back, you got to do some backtracking, but like when you go back and actually do the backtracking, it's different. From changing of enemies to taking away weapons and abilities.
I think the Night Sister should have went away once she became your ally.
yeah, that too. Because unless they have some future plans for.
Well, no, she said no. She did say, "Well, I could just stop this, but you're good enough to get through it."
Well, she said that
does
about
say
the
that.
monsters, the two monsters there, but the Night Sisters though, what's her doing? Unless once they're released, there ain't nothing she could do about it. They weren't even hard enemies. They just when they swarm you, the camera angle started going crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, they were annoying, and they had acid too. But look, bosses. We kind of went off on that. But what's his name? Spartacus. Malachus.
Malachus.
Malachus. I liked his story. His arc. Being that he was also a fallen Jedi, and he cut himself off from the Jedi, and he was trying to learn the magic from how do you say that planet? Dathomir. Dathomir. He was trying to learn the witches, basically the witches that raised Darth Maul. They have magic, and he was trying to learn their magic and incorporate that with the Force. And I think he was the hardest boss.
I died to him a bunch, but not as much as the second sister.
Yeah, second
I
sister.
died to her a lot.
Yeah.
Who's second sister? The main.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
she was a headache at the end.
Yeah, and everybody was playing on Jedi Master, right? Like the second to last difficulty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played on second to last difficulty.
Yeah, I moved them around. They're all the same. Just the amount of health you lose is different.
It changes the aggression of the enemies and your parry timing, like how precise it has to be.
Yeah, but if you parry at the last possible second, it's the same. Because I'm used to parrying at the very last second. But like as far as hitting, like an enemy hitting you and killing you, they do it on easy too. So,
oh really? So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think we about covered the whole game. I'm hoping.
Yep.
Oh well, you wanted to compare. Well, we did that. We already compared the other Star Wars games as far as Unleashed and.
No, not okay. So like Force
Because you
Unleashed
wanted
one
to
and
talk
two.
about
So
Battlefield, right, or Battlefront.
uh, the problem I have with these two games, Battlefront 2 and this one, right, is that plot holes in canon. They made really huge plot holes in canon right now. The way this one ended, it was open ended, and it's like, okay, so we already know what happens after this. So where were these people? Where was this stuff? You know, it was never mentioned, right? You got that, and then as far as Battlefront 2, which is supposed to be bleeding into the next movie, like how does it tie into that? Like
No, did it bleed? The Battlefront
I
bleed into the
often
next
wonder
movie? Did
if
it
they
bleed into Last Jedi?
no, it bleeds into the last movie because of Palpatine's involvement in the movie. Because like he didn't have clones, he had droids that would display an image in his plan. Like he recorded his plan before because he was dead, but now he's not dead. So it's like, okay, what the fuck, right? What's going on here? So they gotta fix that plot hole in the movie too. That movie has to do a lot. But
That movie had to be 3 hours.
I wanna say something, and I thought of this as we were talking about it. Revenge of the Sith. I think I played it on Xbox 360. That is a really good Star Wars game.
Original Xbox and PS2.
Original, okay. Yeah, it's on Steam too, but that's a really good progression
Combat-wise?
and combat. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Pretty good
thought
one
that game was
story
amazing.
wise.
I remember, I still in my head, like in your nostalgia brain, like I still remember that the graphics being like so good, like this looks so real. Like,
Yeah, I played it not that long ago. It's not that great.
I'm sure it's not, but I'm gonna leave it in my mind's eye.
Yeah, I remember it being holy shit. This looks just like the movie, and
It's a
nah,
PS2 game.
nah, it was pretty bad. But that one had good force abilities, and you had to do multiple playthroughs to get everything, which is cool. And you get to play through the movie. And if you had it, it came out before the movie, and it revealed the ending if you beat it before you saw the movie. So that was cool.
All that sound cool, but I got to pilot a walk, so I don't care about none of that. Just joking, man. I'm just joking.
I don't know. I missed what you said.
I said all of that sound cool, but I got to pilot a walker, so I ain't trying to hear none of that.
You get to in Force Unleashed, you get to take down a Star Destroyer with your bare hands.
You didn't do that this time because that's just outrageous.
That shit was hard.
Yeah, that's
like outrageous. I had to look that up. That shit was hard to do. Like I'm pushing the button, it ain't doing shit. Like,
yeah, but like I said, overall, man, I was impressed with the game and pleased.
Yeah, I was surprised. I had nothing invested in this game. I had no plans in getting it. I just happened to have it for free because I have Origin Access Premier. So definitely worth the $100 a year. Just that game alone.
Yeah, because you can get other games right now too. You can get the Need for Speed.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff in there. I mean, if you only buy one game a year, what's another $40? Right. You know, to get like. And it's not just like the base version of the game. You get the full version of the game.
All right. Well, I think we touched everything. We're nearing on to an hour.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up. B, you want to go ahead? Anything you want to plug? Your socials?
Looking to be back up on Twitch. Within the next couple. I'll probably get back on full time after Star Wars movie gets on. I'm just popping up here and there testing this audio stuff I'm trying to do. But yeah, look me up on Twitch and Twitter, BRCino, or whatever. I got some tutorial videos coming out really soon. I promise this time.
Cool.
I mean, I'm I'm one of them dudes that think I'm smart, but I'm really stupid. But to some people, I'm kind of smart. Maybe
the audio king.
That didn't come off well. But yeah, go get that game. I highly recommend it.
All right, Sasu, what's up? You got any social medias or anything you want to plug?
No, I'm the boringest dude on the planet. So I'm just a friend hanging with friends. Yeah. So
that's the only fans.
That's just me. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here, as they say.
All right, cool. All right, well, y'all know me. It's your boy Killer Fam 69. You're on my channel, but y'all can check me out on Twitch, Mixer, which I'm probably not going to be back on there. Twitter, everything's Killer Fam 69. You look that up, you'll find me on everything, Pornhub, everything. But all right, y'all.
All right, y'all, Killer Fam. I'm out. Killer Fam.
Hey, funny. All right, y'all. But make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know if you thought about what you thought about Jedi Fallen Order. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.